Senator Barrasso.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. In my view, this hearing is long overdue. The Renewable Fuel Standard, the RFS, is among the most short-sighted energy policies that Congress has ever enacted. The RFS has left a wake of economic and environmental harm that must be put to an end. It has increased food prices for American families. It has increased fuel prices for American motorists. It has contributed to a dirtier environment. And now the RFS threatens to cause widespread damage to engines, to fuel systems, and our transportation fuel infrastructure. In June, I, along with Senators Pryor and Toomey, introduced S. 1195, the Renewable Fuel Standard Repeal Act. This is a bipartisan bill, and it would repeal the RFS in its entirety. To date, 17 senators have co-sponsored the bill, including Senator Bozeman and Crapo and Inhofe, who are members of this committee. I am pleased that a diverse coalition of stakeholders supports this bill, including the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, the National Chicken Council, the National Turkey Federation, the American Sheep Industry Association. I'd also note that the editorial boards of USA Today, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal have all called for the repeal of this mandate. The debate over the RFS is not a debate between the oil industry and environmentalists. It's a debate between those who recognize that the RFS is fundamentally broken and those who don't. Environmental organizations such as the Environmental Working Group, which is represented here today, recognize that the RFS is broken. Global hunger organizations such as Oxfam and ActionAid also recognize the RFS is broken. Even the EPA recognizes the status quo cannot continue. Last month, EPA took a small but historic step. The EPA proposed reducing the total volume of biofuels that suppliers must make available under the RFS. The EPA has proposed this reduction to address issues surrounding the so-called blend wall. The blend wall is the amount of ethanol that can be safely added to the nation's fuel supply. I applaud the EPA for taking this step and encourage the agency to make further reductions in its final rule. But make no mistake, the EPA cannot fix the renewable fuel standards. Congress must weigh in and repeal this broken program once and for all. We must repeal the mandate that diverts corn away from kitchen tables and into gas tanks. This mandate has not only increased food costs for American families, but has increased food costs for the world's poor. This is why the Director General of the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization called on EPA to suspend the RFS last year. In addition, we must repeal the mandate for biofuels that are not commercially available. For years, we have heard that the RFS would result in large-scale production of advanced biofuels, but this has not happened. And I'm sorry that we're limited because I wanted to quote Democrat Senator Chuck Schumer on his concerns about this as well. So with that, I'd like to put into the record my full statement, including the comments by Senator Schumer.